लाइक, शेयर एंड सब्सक्राइब करें। धन्यवाद।
So we are in the middle of this huge AI boom, right? Machines are learning to see and understand our world in ways that are just mind-blowing. But here's the secret sauce, the thing a lot of people miss. Behind every single one of those smart AIs, there's still a human. And in this explainer, we're going to pull back the curtain on that critical partnership, the one that actually makes all of this modern AI possible. Think about it. You and I, we see a car or a stop sign, and we just know what it is, instantly. But how on earth does a machine learn to do that? How does it look at a bunch of pixels and get to, oh, that's a stop sign? Well, to really get it, we first have to talk about AI's biggest, most critical blind spot. So before we get to the solution, we've got to understand the problem. And it's a big one. AI, on its own, really struggles to learn about our messy, unpredictable world. It's actually pretty relatable. Just think about how we learn as kids. You see a poodle, a golden retriever, a bulldog, and eventually your brain just clicks and gets the whole concept of dog. Well, AI learns in the exact same way, by seeing tons of examples. The only difference is, we're talking on a massive scale. Not just a few examples, but thousands, sometimes millions of. And that brings us to this super important process called data annotation. This is where people, actual humans, come in and literally draw boxes around things or trace their outlines in pictures and videos. They're basically telling the AI, see this? This is a car. Or this shape right here? That's a person walking. These labels, they become what's known as the ground truth. It's the absolute bedrock of everything the AI is going to learn. Now, in a perfect world, this is a piece of cake. Imagine a picture of a single car on a totally empty road, clear day, nothing else in the frame. Labeling that is super easy, right? And the AI learns from it just like that. That's the dream scenario. But when is the real world ever that simple? The real world is messy. It's chaotic. You've got rain, shifting shadows, things blocking other things. So how in the world do you teach an AI to spot a person who's half hidden behind a parked car in the dark? That is where this gets really, really tricky. And let's be clear, the stakes here are incredibly high. We're talking about things like self-driving cars or medical imaging. What if the line drawn around a tumor in a training image is just a little bit off? Or what if a road hazard gets missed in the data? Even one tiny error can teach the AI the wrong thing, and that can lead to some seriously dangerous outcomes. Okay, so you've got this mountain of data to label, millions of images. The obvious thought is, hey, let's just automate it, right? Let's get AI to label the data for other AI. And yeah, on the surface, it seems like the perfect fix. And don't get me wrong, automation is incredibly powerful. It can do things like suggest the outlines of objects all by itself, or track a car as it moves through a video, frame by frame. It can even fill in the gaps between labeled frames. Heck, it's smart enough to flag the really tricky images and say, hey, a human should probably look at this one. It makes the whole thing way, way faster. But, and this is a big but, here comes the twist. For all of that amazing speed, automation has a fatal flaw. There are just some situations where a machine, no matter how smart, can't compete with plain old human perception. And this really gets to the heart of the issue. Put automation in a controlled environment, like a factory assembly line with perfect, steady lighting. It's a rock star. It works flawlessly. But you take that same system and put it out into the real world with chaotic city streets, crazy weather, and stuff overlapping everywhere, and it starts to fall apart. It gets tripped up by simple things like shadows, reflections, or a tree branch partially blocking a stop sign. Here's a perfect example. An automated system might scan a metal part and see a tiny line, flagging it as, just some surface texture, nothing to worry about. But a trained human expert, they look at that same line and see the bigger picture. They see the nuance, and they know, whoa, that's not texture, that's a hairline crack that could be a huge problem. That kind of judgment call, that's uniquely human. So where does that leave us? Humans are too slow for the sheer volume of data, but machines aren't always accurate enough for the complexity. So what's the solution? Well, it's not about choosing sides. It's about creating a team, a powerful partnership that gets the best of both worlds. And that solution is called human in the loop. The concept is actually really simple, but also kind of revolutionary. You let the AI do all the heavy lifting. Let it crank through 80 or 90% of the data, making a first guess at all the labels at lightning speed. And then you bring in the human expert to review its work, fix any mistakes, and tackle those really tough, nuanced cases. It's the perfect combo, the speed of the machine plus the wisdom of a human. What's really cool is that this creates this amazing feedback loop, a virtuous cycle. Step 1, the AI takes a shot at the label. Step 2, the human expert comes in and perfects it. Step 3, that new, super high-quality piece of data gets fed back into the system. And what happens? It trains the AI to be even smarter and more accurate the next time around. The system literally gets better with every correction. And this isn't just some abstract idea. Let's go back to that self-driving car. This human-in-the-loop process is exactly how you teach an AI to handle those super rare but absolutely critical edge cases. You know, like a kid suddenly darting out from behind a parked van at night. In those moments, having a human in the loop isn't just a nice to have. It's absolutely essential for safety. So, where is all this heading? What does the future of this human-machine team look like? Well, the partnership is already evolving, getting smarter and more seamless as the tech gets better. And the next big wave is already here. They're called Vision Language Models, or VLMs for short. Now, these are AIs that can understand both pictures and language, and that is a total game changer. Suddenly, labeling data isn't just about pointing and clicking anymore. It's becoming more like having a conversation. So check this out. Instead of painstakingly drawing a box around every single car, a human can now just type, "Hey, label all the pedestrians in this scene." The VLM goes and does a first draft of all the annotations. The human's job completely changes. They go from being a data laborer to more of a manager or quality control expert, just verifying the AI's work and using their brainpower on the really tough stuff. And really, that brings us to the most important point of all. The story of AI isn't about humans being replaced. It's about partnership. As the AI gets better and better at handling the grunt work, our job shifts. We become the experts, the supervisors, the people who provide the crucial judgment and oversight. So the big question we should be asking isn't if humans will still be needed. The real question is, how will our roles and our skills evolve right alongside these incredibly smart new tools?